Morning, Trainiacs. It is nice today, and it's only gonna get better. We're traveling today. So, open water swim season is within sniffing distance. So today we're gonna talk about how to pick a wetsuit, particularly a used one. Alright, so in this bag right there, we have old nasty wetsuit that I'm planning on selling. Yeah, alright. So some things that you want to look out for when you're buying a wetsuit are fit. The fit should be fairly tight, but only in a few certain areas. Particularly, you want it very tight in the legs. You want it very tight in the core around here so that your body doesn't go like this. The tighter it is in the core, the better. And then to know if you've got like the right fit overall, see if you can grab a bunch of meat back here. If you can grab a little bit of wetsuit, good. But if you can grab a big chunk of it and there's like pockets of air, that's all gonna fill with water. Any excess room that your body isn't taking up is gonna be filled with water. You're gonna be dragging that across the open water. It's gonna slow you down, not good. Where you wanna have room and lots of mobility, however, is in the shoulders. You wanna get as much of the suit up into the shoulders, right over top of that shoulder bone as you can. If you find that the wetsuit is kind of pulling your arms forward, you don't have enough mobility in the shoulders. If just as moving around and doing up the wetsuit, you feel any sort of tightness and restriction, that's not enough mobility. Because what's gonna happen is if this is too tight, you're gonna tire out your shoulders as you're swimming, and you're gonna actually use a lot of the energy that you can put into the bike and the run just in turning over your shoulders. You're also not really gonna be able to train for that a lot. Like this, I had to train at least once a week for about 2 to 3 months to get used to this wetsuit because it was such a tight fit. Now, specifically getting into used wetsuits, the quality of the wetsuit, like the upkeep that you wanna look for are things like, you wanna be looking for tears, number one. So if there are any tears, those are just gonna get bigger. You aren't able to patch those, fix those really easily. You gotta replace an entire panel, at which point buying that used wetsuit isn't saving you any money. You also wanna look at all the seams. So areas like this, seams tend to come apart. Now, you can stitch those a little bit easier if you go to a scuba shop or a wetsuit shop, but those are really tough to fix as well. And you also want to be looking for really high wear spots, like in between the legs or under the armpits. If it's chewed up like this, that's not really going to come back. Or if there's areas that have already been cement patched, there's going to be a tear or a rough spot underneath there that you're also not going to be able to fix. Fingernail tears, however, are a fair bit easier, just little tiny cuts. I wouldn't worry a ton about those. You can patch those easily with some cement, but those are the things that you should look for. Also, check to see if the zipper is working. Like this here just doesn't want to agree with me, and the Velcro wants to stick on. And if it fits, if it's got maybe a fingernail tear or two, no major cuts, no major rips in seams, you got yourself a good wetsuit. As long as you don't mind swimming in somebody else's pee, totally fine. An alternative to that, however, is getting an Xterra wetsuit. This is what I used for the first 4 years of my triathlon career. I will link the one that I will recommend in the description below. It's only about $100 to $200, very inexpensive, and it's really tough, lasts a long time, and it's what a lot of triathletes get started with for the same price as renting a wetsuit, as buying a high-end wetsuit used. You can get yourself your own wetsuit, and if you don't end up going forward and sticking in triathlon, you can resell that for almost the same amount that you paid. So that link in the description below will actually be an affiliate link, won't cost you anything extra, but if you buy anything on Amazon the 24 hours after clicking that link, helps us out, we get a small commission. Let's swim now.
About to leave. with me. I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know about the sea.
All right, it is currently 11:45 and my flight is in 6 hours, and I have to pack up a bike, a suitcase, a whole bunch of camera gear, podcasting equipment. It's gonna be a lot. Unfortunately, because I've only done one ride on this beautiful lady, probably not the smartest thing to go and crank out hundreds of kilometers in the course of a few days, brand new position, when I haven't been in the aero position in 6 months. So we bring the road bike out, which makes sense because we're climbing anyway. So I've got road bike, I've got swim kit, I've got camera bag, I've got podcasting equipment, drone charging, helmet and shades, running hat, running shoes, bunch of nutrition, safety kit, headphones, GoPro stuff, shoes, mostly to go in the bike bag.
Not looking back, eyes on the freeway, Bonnie and Clyde, a classic cliche. We're on the run, this is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out.
Ladies and gentlemen, Matt Dixon. Hey!
Hey, Captain.
You're the boss here.
It's on. Let's go. Are you on? Welcome.
I'm on all the time. You guys are on
There's
right
the camera
now.
up there.
Jeez. Oh. God, guys. That was not an enjoyable time of transportation. All right, so day started off yesterday. Go to the airport, flight delayed, about 2.5 hours, which also meant that I didn't make it in time for my flight from Minneapolis to San Francisco. Had to stay in Minneapolis overnight, fine and dandy. Get to Minneapolis this morning. Well, apparently they checked me in as Minneapolis as my final destination. So when I got there, I had to go and rescue my bags at the last minute that were just somewhere in the Minneapolis airport all night. Flew to San Francisco today. Now I'm here. Finally. So now we relax-ish here for the Purplepatch little mini camp in San Francisco, shacked up at Mill Valley, and doing a little bit of training, a little bit of work with Matt Dixon and his wife Kelly, and Kim and Carrie on the team, and Paul and Laurence, and all kinds of fantastic people. We are going to do a Facebook Live Q&A Monday afternoon with Matt and I. You can meet Matt, super nice guy. Put your questions to Matt in the comments below. Now, I'm gonna go sleep for about 14 hours until this goon show gets underway.